Hey Betics, it's Kara Stiles here from Pure Diabetes and Bootcamp for Betics, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about natural remedies for diabetes. I get a lot of emails and questions and comments on my blog about whether a specific diabetes medication is okay to take, or whether there are any reasonable natural remedies for diabetes. We've heard things like cinnamon and okra and various other types of milkshakes and herbal remedies that you can take can help regulate your blood sugar. And I wanted to just generally address the idea of natural and what is natural as it relates to diabetes. So I have 3 points to make here, and I promise I'm going to be pretty quick. The first thing I want to share with you is that natural does not always mean good. Think of some things that are natural. Deadly nightshade is natural. Poison ivy is natural. Bees are natural. So if you're looking for a natural remedy for diabetes, just because something is called natural doesn't necessarily mean that it is good or effective. So that's my first point. My second point is that in terms of blood sugar level, natural for a non-diabetic means having normal blood sugars all the time. And when you're diabetic, you don't have normal blood sugars all the time. So if having normal blood sugars all the time is natural for a non-diabetic, what is natural for a diabetic? Well, what is as close to natural as possible for a diabetic is to have normal blood sugars as often as you possibly can. And that's really the secret. So if you are diabetic and your blood sugar is too high most of the time, then the natural thing to do would be to get your blood sugar into a safe target range as often as you possibly can. Now, that might mean some things for you that you're not going to like. For some of you, that might mean that you have to take insulin in order to get your blood sugar to a reasonable level. And for others, it might mean taking pills. I understand that some of you may have some aversions to taking pills or to taking insulin, but the natural progression of diabetes, if left untreated, is for you to die. So what you need to do in order to stay as natural or as, I guess you could call it normal as possible, is to make sure you take your medications and make sure you take your insulin. But most importantly, is to get your blood sugar into target range as often as possible. And how you actually do that doesn't necessarily have to matter in most cases, but that is the goal for you when you have diabetes. It's not to get off insulin or get off this med or stop taking that med or do absolutely everything with diet and exercise. It's a good goal to have, but it's not necessarily something that everyone can do. So to summarize, natural does not always mean good. Natural for a non-diabetic is having normal blood sugars all the time. If you are a diabetic and you want to be more natural, what you need to do is figure out how to get your blood sugars into target range as often as possible. And that's how you're going to keep your body from trying to kill itself. I hope that answers your question.